What's up, good people? It is Friday. We made it throughout the week. Welcome back to another episode of the DLLS Cowboys podcast. We're still short two people, but that's okay. The BET edition will get you through the rest of this day. We talk about, could Micah be getting a little frustrated with the contract not being done just yet? Stephen Jones talks about the schedule and OTAs coming up. We add on to our Juneteenth program because we get the Black Joe Trahan joining us at 11:30. Stay here, right here with us because this show starts now. Thank you. You are all far too kind. You could have been anywhere in the world, but I am so glad that you are here with me. It is the Cowboys DLLS podcast. It's Friday. We break down a whole bunch of things. Micah Parsons, could he be growing just a little bit frustrated about the contract situation? Our Clarence Hill will break that down because nobody gets the scoops like Clarence Hill. We have Joe Trahan, WFAA lead sports anchor, joining the show at 11:30. But to kick this things off, I am Salt and Pepper Poppy, Jesse Holley.
Oh, Jesse Holley went 77 yards. It must be a reality show.
And to my right, it is the argumentative, not argumentative, but argumentative, Clarence Pop Hill.
I'm Pop. I'm an old guy. So I wore this shirt in honor of you. You called it the Juneteenth edition.
Thank you.
Please celebrate the National Juneteenth Museum that's being constructed in Fort Worth, Texas. You know, headlined by Opal Lee, Dr. Opal Lee. They got made Juneteenth a national holiday. Support the Juneteenth Museum in Fort Worth.
Absolutely. And make sure you support us by hitting the like and subscribe button, the notification button, so that you do not miss an episode of the DLLS Cowboys podcast each and every day at 11 a.m. Central Time here on YouTube. Let's jump right into the Super Chat because I love what this said right here by Vance. Vance says, what we eating at our Juneteenth cookout?
Man, you already know it's going to be some watermelon there. Stop it. Don't do that. Some chicken, some fried, some collard greens. Ooh, some yams, okay?
That sound good. That sound good. That sound good.
Some hot water cornbread, okay?
Sound good right there. All right, let's jump right into
pound cake.
Clarence, you had an opportunity. You venture the worlds of social media and on Twitter. Now, let me say this first. We are all waiting on the details and the contract.
Put Mo up.
What we got here?
Put Mo up.
Oh, Lord. Can I get to it first?
Go ahead. Get to it.
We'll get to it. We'll get to it. Let me put this in, and then you can answer any questions that you would want. One of the things that we have been waiting for, and the Cowboys have kind of been notorious for this, is waiting to the very last minute to sign contracts that we all know that they're going to sign regardless.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And the latest one to have to deal with this type of waiting to sign their new deal so that wire transfer can hit their account is one Micah Parsons. And we know that he's going to get a record-setting deal. He's going to get probably the highest non-quarterback deal in NFL history. It's not an if, but a win. But that win is taking a little bit too much time. We have OTAs that are starting next week. And I've been one who said on this program before as a former player, when you're dealing with a high-level athlete like Micah Parsons, I am one that champions dudes not showing up until they compensated appropriately. And so for Micah Parsons, and you had an interaction with him, you covered the story months ago, back in March. You've been on this story back in March where you talked with Jerry Jones and you heard him say that, yeah, we talked, and I don't have a good Jerry Jones impression voice.
Jesse.
But you talked to him, and he said that he and Micah had a handshake or verbal agreement from the term that they talked about, and That has been the floating narrative around this contract. And then you got into a little bit of a back and forth on the internet, on X last night with the man whose contract will be the highest non-quarterback contract in the NFL whenever it is signed, Micah Parsons. You got the floor. Take it away.
First of all, I got to address something. The plan, man, I addressed that with Jesse already, okay? That pop-pop, that Diddy stuff, don't put that on me, okay? I've already addressed that with Diddy.
He sent me a text.
I already addressed, because Jesse started this pop-pop mess, okay? I already addressed that with Diddy. I don't have no grandkids. I ain't no pop-pop, okay? That's okay. You call me OG, you call me school, whatever. Anyway, getting back to the Micah Parsons thing, I think it's very interesting. Number one.
It better be interesting.
It's all interesting. The whole thing is interesting. I got broad shoulders, okay? So Mo, don't come for me, okay?
Unless he sent for you.
Don't come for me, okay? I got broad shoulders. I've been doing this thing a long time. And just like this is business with Jerry. This is business with Jerry. It's personal with the players. Just like what he said, Zeke and Zeke got upset.
It's a sport for Jerry. Like
this part of
this part of the business is like a player getting on the field. Like this is Jerry's field. This is his way of going out there and being competitive.
Yeah,
I get to control the narrative of winning these contracts to get signed. I get it. I understand it.
It's business with Jerry, but I don't make nothing up, okay? And if you've been following us, we've been writing about this, talking about this, going back to March, okay? And nobody called Cap in March. I talked to his agent. I talked to Jerry. Jerry re-emphasized a deal before the draft. Nobody called Cap. I wrote about this in April. I wrote about this in March. You know why it's Cap now? Because nothing's happened and nothing's been moved forward. So there's some frustration. He's mad at me. Yeah, they're mad at me now. The Cowboys were mad at me. Now they're mad at me.
A lot of folks mad at you lately.
That's fine. But I've been here. I've been on you want me on this wall. Okay?
You need
me on this wall, okay? I've been doing this.
They can't handle the truth.
Listen, and then and the thing about it is I try to give the fans perspective, okay? In some context from how it goes. Listen, let's be honest about this. If you've been keeping up, Micah's brother has been talking about a deal back early March that we got something coming. I got it. I didn't blink. Mike Fisher wrote a story about it. He talked to Michael's brother. Michael's brother told the whole story, okay? The deal is done. I didn't say nothing. I didn't tweet nothing. I waited to a high-level Cowboys source. And when I say high-level, I ain't talking about no damn trainer and no disrespect to the trainers. I'm talking about somebody who would know, okay? He told me. I asked Jerry. He confirmed. We got a deal. We got a meeting of the minds on a deal. I wrote this in March. Okay.
And if you were a DLS diehard, which you can become one, all you got to do is go to alldls.com and become a diehard. You would have been privy to all of these stories that one Clarence Hill has been writing since March about.
And if you don't think Michael's following me on Twitter in March, he just started commenting my tweets last night, then you're dumb. Okay. So he's seen this. We've talked about this. Okay. And they talked about a deal. And so, and I've said all along, even back to the deal, yes, they have a meeting of the minds, but until pen to paper, there's no deal. There's no deal because there's no pen to paper.
Right.
There will never be a deal until there's pen to paper. And there will never be a deal until they talk to his agent.
Correct.
And we've talked about that. And I said that. I said that so much that the Cowboys thought I'm working for the agent. That's why they tried to get mad at me. Now, their side is mad because I keep pointing out that they had a deal, a meeting of the minds. They did. But there's no deal because there's no pen to paper. And more importantly, Micah's done the right things. And I pointed out, I tweeted about Lawrence Taylor. Somebody got mad at me because Lawrence Taylor talked about how he had all these hookers and used to get drunk and all this stuff. He said it. It's on Twitter. I'm not making nothing up. And I said, leave
my Tar Heel brethren alone.
Listen, he said it. But we mad at Micah for podcast. Okay?
Who's mad at Micah for podcast?
Oh, come on, man. Don't do this. You know we mad. The Cowboy fans, people in the building, his teammates. I mean, and like I said, we talked before the show. I've been around here in the roping, doping, and shooting days of the Cowboys. You want to talk about
Put them scissors down.
You know, I broke that story when Mike Irvin cut his teammate. Okay? I was there.
Did
okay?
Mike call Cap on that? Did he call Cap on that?
Man, why you got to do that? Why you got to report that?
Did Mike call Cap on you on that?
No, he couldn't call. You know, I'm just saying, I've been here. We've seen it, okay? And so the idea that Michael's, and I've said that, I'd rather have 11 Mike Parsons than 11 team captains because I need somebody who can play, okay? And I've said over and over again there will be no deal until they talk to the agent, Okay, so I've been consistent about that. So you guys, we said a guard, they want to take a guard. Well, they damn tried to draft a receiver, okay? The receiver was out the board, so they took a guard. So yes, I was wrong because they took a guard. Put that on me, okay? Fine. But if you follow us, we've been right about a lot of stuff, going back to Jerry, going back to Trahan Diggs and his work ethic and them being upset. We reported that here first, okay? So don't play gotcha with me over, you said we're going to take a guard. You've been wrong. Come on, stop it.
And shout out to our guy. I can say our guy because I think we both sit in that seat. Our guy, Law Nation, is in the chat, joined the show today. What's up, Law? We appreciate you being here, man. But I can see, and this is me not putting words in Micah Parsons' mouth. This is me looking from the outside in. If Micah Parsons is growing frustrated, I understand it. Because you watch all these other deals get done. And like you were just saying, that they had a meeting of the minds, right? They sat in the room, they had the conversation or wherever they were at, and they had this conversation about, okay, cool, we are very close to some sort of terms of what this contract is and will look like. And so that at that point in time, it's a simple handoff to, we had a conversation. We agree on a lot of these terms. Now I hand the ball off to David Malugeta, who is the agent of Micah Parsons, as well as the agent of George Pickens, who's also now Tyler Smith is now under Athletes First.
Right.
David Malugeta is one of the lead agents on that. So this is a person who is very familiar with the Cowboys and understanding these contracts. David Malugeta has, of course, he had the richest. He owns the richest NFL contract of guaranteed money in NFL history when he got the Deshaun Watson deal done for $230 million guaranteed. He had the Jalen Ramsey deal done. He had a bunch of other deals that he had gotten done. Who was the cornerback that he just got done other than Jalen Ramsey? He got Carolina.
Yeah.
CJ Horn.
J.C. Horn.
J.C. Horn. My dyslexia acting up. J.C. Horn deal he got done. So David Malugeta has a clear-cut understanding of what it is to have these deals in place and get to the finish line.
Right. And he's also working in the same agency with Dak's agent.
Todd France. Exactly.
Yes. And so, and he got C.J. Stroud coming down the pike. And so he understands. He knows the deal. And yes, you can have all the mean, like Jerry said, well, I don't need to talk to the agent. I can talk to the player. It's people have pointed out, when you do your business deals outside the Cowboys, do you not have an agent look over that stuff? Do you not have a lawyer co-sign? You don't just talk to whoever you're dealing with.
Right.
I won't say plaintiff.
Don't do that.
I just say you won't do that. You have a go-between, and that's how this business, how you do business. Okay, right. You need to talk to the agent to get things done, to get the ball across the goal line. Until they do that, it's a frustration. It's and they're going to get frustrated because Micah's tried to do the right thing. They told him, well, you don't show up. But he showed up for off-season program. Mm-hmm. Okay, he's been involved. He's been around. You know, he was at the golf tournament, shucking and jiving and laughing with everybody.
Not shucking and jiving on the Juneteenth episode.
Man, I'm sorry.
Well, this is the Juneteenth edition of
jocularity. Doing boys will be boys. Jocularity.
All right, don't say shucking and jiving on the Juneteenth.
I don't mean it.
DLLS
just
Cowboys podcast.
That's just an old school term.
I know.
Yeah, jocularity. Boys will be boys. Jocularity. He and CD and Tyler, they having fun. And he's there. But he wants a deal done, just like everybody else. You sign, you make all these moves, you bring all these players. He's happy. He wants to win. He wants to be in Dallas. He wants a deal done. And they have not moved forward. They have not, after all of that talk in March, he told him to call my agent. Call my agent. Yeah. They have not called his agent. Nothing's moved forward. So it's not just, yes, he mad at me. They frustrated with me, but they're frustrated with the process. Because the process is not what they want it to be.
No, they would love to have this deal done so that they can put that behind them. It is a stressful thing because I would like to believe that in the back of Micah Parsons' minds, you always have this little voice in the back of your mind as you're working out, as you're getting close to the season is, I want to get this deal done for anything, could happen to me. Let's just get this deal done. I want to get the deal done. I want to be the highest paid player. You're looking around the locker room. Osa got a new deal. You see CD got his deal. All the other players around the league getting their deals done. So I get it. I understand the frustration if it's coming from Micah Parsons because he wants to get the deal done.
I like Virus B. So we said he was kikiing. He was kikiing all
yes,
this.
He was kikiing all Steven face. And CD had a little. He was like, he get another million, and a lot of folks had meals in that golf course. Mike is saying, I need to get my meals. All right, man. Let's stay right here with this. We're gonna talk about the one Stephen Jones and some of the things that he has to say about the season, about the schedule, and about some running mates that Micah Parsons and others now have on their football team. And so stay right here with us. This is the DLS Cowboys podcast. We'll be right back. The sun is out. Sometimes the guns are out. But I want to make sure that you are in the right pair of glasses because nothing really completes a fit. You can put your glasses on right now and get off your phone and help me out with that. Nothing really completes a fit. Here you are. You're on camera now.
I'm on the camera.
Nothing really completes a fit like a nice pair of polarized sunglasses. And I got the place for you. Our friends at Shady Rays. If you use our promo code DLLS, you get 35% off a pair of polarized glasses like the ones that Clarence is wearing right here. I have a pair. Kat has a pair. Jeff has a pair. We all are owners of the Shady Ray polarized glasses. And here's the thing. Jeff, he lost his, but Shady Rays, he reached out to them. They sent him another pair. That's a part of one of their guarantees. If you break them, lose them, or you just are no longer satisfied with the ones that you actually have, you send them back to Shady Rays and they will get you another pair. So don't wait any further. Go to shadyrays.com and get a pair of polarized glasses for 35% off when you use the promo code DLLS. And let me tell you about our friends over at HelloFresh. HelloFresh makes it easier to quick fix home cooked meals into your schedule each and every week by curating delicious recipes like pasta primavera, chicken Dijon, and pecan crusted trout, as well as over 100 seasonal dishes. You want to be outside. 2025, we're evolving to fit everyone's lifestyle, HelloFresh says. And they're like, listen, all you got to do is head over to HelloFresh.com and you'll use the promo code Cowboys10FM. It's for great meals that fit your spring schedule. Make the season even more delicious by going to HelloFresh.com/Cowboys10FM now to get 10 free meals with the free item for life. HelloFresh.com today. All right. They did the schedule release, and during that time, you had Micah, you had CD, you had Osa. Who else did you have out there?
The whole team was out there.
The whole team, they had the golf outing.
Yeah.
But in the scrum of all of the players being there, and they're doing the release, and they're doing the streaming thing, Stephen Jones was in attendance. Shoddy was in attendance. Quick question. Are you going to drink a shoddy?
He said it was water and lemon in there.
He said it was tequila. It was Tito's. Can we say that? Can we? That's not a,
Oh, he said Tito. He did say Tito.
He said Tito's, water, and 3 lemons. Is a shoddy a drink that you would partake in?
I like dark liquor. I'm a bourbon guy.
Okay.
So have I drank tequila? Yes, I would drink tequila. I would, if I was hanging out with shoddy, I would drink a shoddy.
All right.
But my preferred drink is bourbon. I'm sorry.
Vodka.
Tequila, vodka. If I'm hanging out with shoddy, I would drink a shoddy. I would drink some Tito's. My bad.
As in Rome, do as the Romans do.
Yeah, but I'm not going to find my home. I would drink one, and then I'll go back and drink what I drink. You know, like if you drink beer like Joe wants me to get, I don't drink beer. But I'll drink a beer with you, and then go back and order what I drink. And you know what I hate? I hate when it's an us thing, right? So we're at the club. You buying a beer, right? Mm-hmm. You've been drinking beer all night. Soon as I, not you per se.
I just want to put that out there. People know.
So I got friends. You drinking the middle of the night all night or drinking Corona all night when you're paying for your money. Then when it's time for me to pay, you want to get brand new and you want to buy some liquor.
You want top
shelf.
I'm like,
drink what you drink when you drink what you drink.
Right.
Don't change.
Right.
I drink what I drink. I'm generally not going to change. I don't, like people say, we're going to Micah. You want a margarita? No, I don't want a margarita. I want bourbon. You can drink this because it's margarita day. I'm still not drinking a margarita. I'm going to drink what I drink because I don't prefer that. Drink
Jerry
what you drink.
Said, what you got for them Hispanic fans that you have, Jerry? We got those Cowboy readers. That's what Jerry said. Jerry said they got the Cowboy readers for all of his Hispanic friends that attend the Cowboys games. Stephen Jones talks schedule and outlook on OTAs. Take it away. I guess this is a single scoop. This is a single scoop. We don't have you and Joe here. We got the single scoop.
That's a single scoop. And, obviously, Stephen Jones was at when we were doing a show yesterday. Now, Stephen Jones is going to be at the PBR and do a press conference. Like, why would y'all do that 30 minutes before the show? So, obviously, the schedule came out on Wednesday. And it was really the first time he got to address the schedule. Schedules, we all knew it was going to be a tough schedule. But there's a couple of things in the schedule that's tough. 5 of the first 8 on the road.
Yep.
They're the first team in history to play 6 straight games. 6 straight. Mm-hmm. First team in NFL history to play 6 straight games against teams that won 11 games from the previous season. They also will play 3 straight games against teams that won 14 more.
Yeah.
And that's that.
Eagles, Lions, Vikings.
Yeah, that's what we talked about. No. Eagles, Chiefs. Yeah. Eagles, Chiefs, and Lions.
The Lions. Yes.
Oh, no, maybe. Yeah. And then after that, you got the Vikings who won a lot of games. So I'm just saying.
I think the Vikings won 14 games.
Yeah, so the bottom line is they have a arduous schedule. They have a hard schedule. And what Stephen pointed out was you got the tough games, you got the early road test with 5 of the first 8 in the road. But when you get to those meat of those games that we're talking about, many of those at home, like the Chiefs are at home, the Vikings are at home, we said the plus side of that is that they're at home, a lot of them. And I love it for our fans that we're going to get to that we're going to get to see us compete. Selling tickets.
Translation. We gonna make some money.
We're gonna sell some tickets. Okay?
We gonna make some money because fans. And that's the thing is that a lot of times, sometimes fans come out to these games and it's like
Detroit will take over.
You can look at this is the privilege that we have of being in the
Kansas
Metroplex.
City will take over
when the Mavericks are playing basketball, right? And LeBron comes to town.
Right.
Ticket prices go up.
Right.
When Steph comes to town, it's like, yeah, we want to come watch our team.
Right.
But how often do we get the chance to see Patrick Mahomes?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Up close and personal.
Right.
So people going to come out for those games. So Steven's like, yeah, we love it. Great for our teams and our fans. They know they about to make – they're going to sell them Cowboy readers. They're going to sell a few of them Cowboy readers.
No doubt. So the schedule is the schedule. Like I said, I'm glad a lot of those things happen to be right here for our fans to enjoy. And certainly we've got a lot – you got some challenges early on the road, okay? And they talked about 5 of the first 8 on the road, which we've talked about. But, yes, we got a spicy schedule at the end. We're a big run there, playing a lot of playoff teams. So we're looking forward to that. We're ready to go. We're a big fan of the schedule.
Is he on a competition committee?
Yeah, they don't pick the schedule.
But like, isn't that all in the same thing? Competition committee, schedule makers, and all that kind of stuff.
No.
This schedule is. And I don't subscribe to the, everyone has it out, against the Cowboys. This is a schedule that's just a schedule. It is a difficult schedule. This is a difficult schedule. The Cowboys are tied 5th for the strength of schedule, the toughest strength of schedule in all of football. Who else has that? The New York Giants has an even tougher one, and Philly has an even tougher one than the Cowboys. So it's not like this is just Cowboy-centric.
No.
Like a lot of teams that we have to play within the division, the Giants and the Philadelphia Eagles will have to play some very, very, very stiff and tough competition. Now, maybe that was some of the reason when you look back over these things and you see how the Cowboys were moving, maybe so in the draft and then bringing George Pickens in. Yes, those things were needed. But when you start kind of peeking out at this schedule, you start looking around and you're saying, to your point always, we're going to need some dogs.
Right.
This is a schedule where we just can't go with this ain't the right kind of guys ain't going to win these games. Now the guys that we bring in will be uber talented. They may have a little problems. They may have a little bit of attitude adjustment that may be needed. They may need a little straightening. They need a little straightening out, but you're going to need dogs to go out and beat Kansas City, Detroit, to beat Philadelphia, to play all these games on the road. And so when you're looking at this schedule, it is tough. And to kind of piggyback into a first segment type thing, here's why you need to get Micah Parsons paid, in my personal opinion.
Right.
I don't need Micah missing OTAs if that's the case, if he decides to not go. Because if I'm Micah, I don't show up to nothing until I get my deal done. I ain't showing up to OTAs, and if I do, I'm doing a hold in. I'm doing a hold in at training camp where I'll be there, but I'm not participating in nothing until I get my deal done.
Right.
having a first-year head coach, having a relatively new and young football team. You know, they had 33 free agents last year, lost a ton of guys to free agency, brought some guys in, but they're new guys. They have to learn this system, learn the way of the land for Cowboy Nation. I need all systems go when I get to Oxnard, California in August because of the way that this schedule is built. Going on the road, 5 of the first 8 games, you're going to need your team to be locked in.
Yeah.
I can't have guys showing up late, coming late because we didn't get a contract not done. I can't have guys not being where they're supposed to be and have everyone locked in because this thing can go really left, really fast, and now you're climbing an uphill battle all year long, and then you get to that murderous row to the schedule.
Right. No. And just a point of order, I think a deal will get done. I think a deal will get done before training camp. Whether it's going to get done before OTAs and minicamp, that's a whole other conversation because it's not done. Until it's done, it ain't done. And Micah most likely will not participate. He'll do a hold-in. At least from his last conversations, he will be here, but he won't do on-field work. But he'll be in the classroom and do things like that. That's better than nothing.
Yeah.
But he'll be in the classroom learning the defense. But he most likely.
But you don't get in football shape.
Oh, he's in shape. He's working out.
No. You don't get in football shape.
He missed all the training camp.
You're playing
all the training camp. I think he'll be in training camp.
Okay.
Yeah, I do think Stephen Jones said yesterday, we're going to get it done because they're going to get it done.
I do believe they're going to get it done.
And I don't think they're going to wait till the end because too much is building. This will be if it's not done in minicamp, it's going to be something that's just going to build into some frustration, into some negativity. I think they'll get it done, but it's not done until it's done. It ain't done, and that's where we are. And regarding the schedule, it's tough, you know, and you want to get your guys out there. You know, the NFL schedule makers did shoddy. No favors. He will probably drinking a few more shotties after each week. Okay, ahead of the game, he would be drinking a few more shotties. And Law Nation's here. You know, he's a Hennessy guy. You know, I don't do Hennessy.
You do dark though.
That's a cognac. I'm a bourbon guy, but I will do a Hennessy and Coke. But that's what he likes to do. Hennessy.
If Law's buying, you gonna do it. You gonna do a Hennessy?
I might do one with him if he wants me to, but I'm gonna order what I drink. All right. You know, they about the same price range.
Okay.
You know, so it's not an issue.
Order me a water and a Red Bull.
But you know, Hennessy got the black man in a headlock right now. You know, we got to have Hennessy. You know, that marketing.
You're a Crown drinker.
I'm a Crown drinker.
That's an old school black man in a headlock.
It's all both of them Jack, all of that. It's got them in a headlock. It's got the black community in a headlock.
Unless you get some of that,
that old slit smart liquor bull. You remember that 40 everybody had to drink all that OE?
Old English? Yeah, St. Ives, OE.
You know, got the black man.
What's Johnny Walker Blue? Is that?
That's a bourbon.
That's a bourbon?
Yeah, but it's the high level of the Johnny Walker. There's Johnny Walker Black, Johnny Walker Red, there's Johnny Walker Blue. Blue is the expensive thing that Jerry likes. Yeah,
that's the Jerry level.
That's the high level.
You got a bottle of that.
I do have a bottle.
You got a bottle of that.
I got a bottle of that.
You don't share that with nobody.
When you come over to my house, I don't take it out.
Okay.
It's for special occasions, man.
I got you.
People don't appreciate liquor, okay? And I know we're off the target. Like there's Crown. I'm a Crown drinker, right? There's levels of Crown. Like there's a high level Crown, like a $200 Crown or a $40 bottle of Crown, okay? So one Christmas, my brother-in-law he wanted some Crown. He put Coke in my $200 bottle of Crown.
In the bottle?
No.
Oh, in his drink.
If you can't appreciate the drink, you don't put Coke in it, okay? You want to put Coke in it, get the regular Crown, okay? Mm-hmm. But don't mix this 200, because you got to be able to appreciate the liquor. Why would you buy something like that? It's like a tequila drinker. If you talk to real tequila drinkers, the best tequilas, you don't mix in margaritas. You know, everybody, you go to restaurants, they always talk about top shelf. No, they're trying to get you, okay? Because you're mixing it. You're all the qualities of a good tequila, you want to drink by itself and sip it so you can appreciate the drink. You don't mix it in a margarita. That's how they get you at these restaurants, these top shelf. No, give me a regular margarita because you're just trying to upsell me because it's not going to taste better.
I got you, man. Hey, come for Cowboy content. Get a tutorial in liquor. All right, stay right here with us.
It's life. It's life. Sure. It's life. It's life.
Absolutely. Stuff. You could be like me and not have to worry about any of that and not drink anything at all. Have a glass of water, have some lemonade, have a Red Bull. That's my drink of choice when I go out to hang out anywhere. Coming up next, we got WFAA's lead sports anchor, one of our good friends, Joe Trahan will be joining the Juneteenth edition of the DLLS Cowboys podcast. We'll be right back. Who we got right here? Is it Rugged Road here first or there we go. My good friends at EmpireToday.com. Flooring is essential. It's really some of the first things people see when they walk into your house. They come into your crib, and if your floor doesn't look the part, they're judging. They're judging. You know, sometimes they say that we look, or we say we listen and we don't judge. Well, they step and they absolutely judge. And you can now change their judgment. You can but you can go online to WFAA. I'm all over the place. EmpireToday.com, and you can get them to come out and look at your flooring and have the experts get you the flooring that you need. And we have a deal for you. If you use the promo code DLLS, you get $350 off some new flooring. Carpet, wood, laminate, vinyl, whatever it is, they have the experts that are going to get you right for some new flooring today. Let all the people listen, but when they walk in your house, let them judge because you got the best. EmpireToday.com, $350 off by using the promo code DLLS. And the spring and the summertime is here. School's about to get out. A lot of people, even the Joneses, they're getting ready to go on their summer vacation. They're going to get on the boat. They're going to be on the lake. They're going to be sailing the seven seas, or it might be in the backyard. It might be at the pool, a community pool, a backyard pool. Whatever it is, you need to have a good cooler. You need to keep, whether you're having your tequila, your bourbon, or your spritzers, or like me, your Red Bull and your water. You want to keep that thing nice and cool. You need to have a Rugged Road cooler. Head over to ruggedroad.com and use the promo code DLLS and get 10% off a cooler today. They keep things cold up to 72 hours. You put some snacks in there for the kids, maybe a sandwich if you get a little hungry, because they said you shouldn't drink on an empty stomach. But head over to ruggedroad.com and get one of the floatable ones. It's cool. It's innovative. They always flow upright. ruggedroad.com. Get you a brand new cooler today. We got our boy Joe.
What's up, fellas?
There he is.
How y'all doing?
Trahan.
Bring some light skin to the show, Joe. Bring some light skin to the show.
Joe
It's always got to start there.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Welcome to the BET edition of the DLS Cowboys podcast.
I'm
Joe,
a brown paper bag, by the way. I am
Brown paper bag brown. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
But the melanin is popping. Melanin is popping.
That's my lighting. That's a studio lighting.
Yeah. Joe, what's going on, brother? How you doing over there, man?
I'm doing great, man. I'm just watching the PGA Championship. Scotty Scheffler's going to tee off here in about an hour or so. So I'm just keeping up and keeping up with the Cowboys, listening to all the interesting tidbits from Jerry and Steven and how they're trying to frame this discussion on Micah Parsons. Interesting stuff.
Is Scheffler got on orange today?
That was actually funny. Kudos to my
Did you
guy.
follow that?
I didn't.
That was good.
Tell
That
him
was
about the Scheffler orange thing what popped up this week.
So, of course, this is kind of anniversary of Scotty Scheffler getting arrested at the PGA last year. So he was literally in an orange jumpsuit last year, and he had on an orange polo underneath his vest. Just listen, I thought it was a brilliant little shout out there. Take that, and we'll see if my boy can get going today.
You think you think he's dogging under his orange polo?
He is not.
He's not. All right. We'll just check it. All right, Joe, the schedule was released the other day, and it has been the talk of Cowboy Nation. You see the murder road they have at the beginning of the year. At the end of the year, you see that they have the first 5 of 8 games. It's going to be on the road. The schedule makers did the Cowboys no favors with the way that they designed this schedule. When it came out, what was your first thoughts when you saw the schedule for the 2025-2026 season for the Dallas Cowboys?
There were a few things that just jumped out at me. I don't know if I've ever seen a Monday night game, a bye, and another Monday night game. That was one. And then I'm always looking through Jesse to see, okay, which games am I going to be traveling to? It's not like when I was the reporter with the Cowboys and I would be on the road dang near every week with Clarence. Now that I'm the main anchor, I got to choose, and I only make 4 or 5 trips. And I'm not trying to brag. I see your head over there.
Nah, you can brag. Nah, talk that talk.
Calm down.
Talk that talk, Joe. Talk that talk. Say, listen,
that dude.
I ain't gotta be in the field anymore. Listen, I ain't gonna be in the field anymore. Talk that talk. My dollar say I'm in the studio.
I'm the
I
head.
like it. No,
He's
talk
the
that
head
talk.
Negro in charge.
Talk
okay?
that talk. Talk that talk.
These are all facts. That's all. That's all. But that's what I look for. And then the other thing I saw that just jumped out, have we ever seen 4 Thursday night games? The Cowboys aren't America's team. They're Thursday night's team, right? That's more their primetime exposure. We know that's going to happen, but I've never seen 4 Thursday night games. And of course, 2 of those are on the holidays, Thanksgiving, and then Christmas, which is how we got that 4th Thursday. Of course, of the 4, those are the 2 that will be the short weeks. And Jesse, you know how tough those weeks are. One of those weeks will be against the Chiefs on Thanksgiving after they've played the Eagles on that Sunday before. So that means they will be playing the last 2 world champions in back-to-back games on only 4 days rest. That's going to be incredibly difficult. And then everybody's been talking about the stretch from week 12 to week 17. It's Murderer's Row. You've got all those double-digit win teams, all those playoff teams, including the 2 Super Bowl champs that I mentioned. So listen, you guys are right. Nothing easy about it. But then again, I will say there are some areas where they not given breaks, but not as hard as it could be, because that first Thursday night, obviously first game of the season, rest is not an issue there. And then very interesting on those Monday night games, you got that bye in between. The bye is in the middle of the year, which I always think is advantageous. But I will say this, when it comes to that bye week in week 10, no Cabo trips, gentlemen. No Cabo trips. You need all that rest imaginable to get ready for that stretch, especially after week 11. They get a little warm up when they play the Raiders. But after that, 12 through 17, look out.
Yeah, it was before he got into the big chair. He was the Cowboys guy. We just call him. He said he was 24/7, Joe.
I did. I recanted that.
He wasn't really 24/7, Joe. We 24/7. Huh?
There was a 1 year period when we tried something at Channel 8. I was doing such a good job that they wanted me to do more Cowboys content. So we shifted my schedule to try and be there more, to try and embed
more. It's not 24/7, Joe.
But, well, a lot more. But the problem was they still needed me in so many other areas. When you're good at so many different things.
I like this.
You.
I like when Joe Trahan. I like when Joe talk his talk.
Oh, that's what we do. We do this.
I like
okay?
when Joe talk
But when
his talk.
when you dealing with embedded beat writers who are there all the time and everything, you can't call yourself 24/7.
And I did not call myself 24/7. I said that was the notion, the concept.
It was a concept. That is a concept of a plan. You had a concept of a plan.
Because unlike you guys, I can't take off these long stretches outside of the season because the people still want to see me.
Oh, that's okay. And we want to see you. You're lovely. Will we see you in Washington on Christmas Day, family man?
Probably.
Oh,
probably.
Okay. All right.
Because Mike Leslie and Jonah Javad they both got kids. And I'm like, listen, hopefully that's a quick up and back. We can do that. We can take one for the team. I'm not above that. I remember what the grind was like. It's all good.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Now, quick question about this team this offseason. We really haven't talked to you, since everything was put together, certainly since the George Pickens trade. You like what the Cowboys did, free agency, offseason, the draft, to be a better team. Does this put them over the hump? Can you talk about the Pickens trade, and does this get them to the championship game and possibly the Super Bowl?
I don't know about that. I'm not going to skip steps, right? There's so much work to be done. I still didn't think they did enough pre-draft to draft completely clean, but they stuck to their board by and large, which I think was a very big plus. And that did open the door for them, to make this move for Pickens. And I want to be clear. I like the move. I think it's a move that they had to make, because it would have been too easy for opposing teams to just double team CD and then dare the Cowboys to run, kind of like they did last year. And the Cowboys really didn't, They go out and they get Jaden Blue and Phil Maffa in the draft, but Javonte Williams and Miles Sanders don't really get me going. So that running back by committee didn't work. Can it work better this year? Perhaps, but they'll have to prove it to me. But when it does come to George Pickens, I will say this. I'm not going to define him by his baggage. I will not define him by his baggage, but I won't forget it either. I won't. Because when I think about Mike Tomlin coming out and saying what he said about him needing to grow up, I also think about knowing Mike Tomlin, how many opportunities did he give George Pickens to, quote unquote, grow up before Mike Tomlin went public with it? Y'all know that he gave him probably quite a few, and it still came out that way. So it's a red flag for me. It's not a non-starter for me. But listen, you got to keep that in the back of your mind. One positive Cowboys fans should think about and consider. Pickens does have a relationship before joining the team with CD Lamb. I think that's crucial. I think that's really important because you guys, Jesse, you know better than both of us how things can get mixed up when you're not sure what the message is coming from the head coach, the front office. But when you have someone who is as invested and highly paid as CD Lamb is, he can be that go-between between the head coach and the front office in Pickens. And Dak can help in that regard as well. So I think it is a good situation for that baggage to not show up, but I can't forget about it because somebody I respect like Tomlin made it a talking point.
Joe, last year, the talk of the Cowboys offense was just how bad Tyler Guyton was at handling the pressure of being the starting left tackle. Zach Martin heads to retirement. You draft Tyler Booker to now be his replacement. What pressures, one, do you still have on Tyler Guyton for him to come back this year? And then two, he's checked all the boxes so far. When hearing him speak and saying the right things with Tyler Booker, is there a ton of, I guess, gauge the pressure on both of those young men being catalysts to the Cowboys having success up front this season?
I think it's a great point. I don't know how well any of this works without the offensive line elevating their play in a big way because you don't have that big name running back. Jaden Blue is going to bring a level of speed and explosiveness and elusiveness that perhaps we haven't seen in a while. Phil Maffa is going to be that battering ram. We'll see if there's a spot for him on the team, depending on what Williams and Sanders do. But all that's predicated, as you guys know, on the offensive line taking not just a step, but a leap forward, So there's a ton of pressure. I would say more on Guyton than anyone because he's on the island, and there's nothing like getting on that island and having to make plays. And we have seen it too many times when young players come in, like he did last year, and they're just not ready for the pressure and for the fact that sometimes you are just out there on your own, and it is sink or swim, and you will sink like, you got 100-pound lead weight on you if you're not ready. And there were too many times when he wasn't ready. So I think the pressure does start with him, especially when you have the opportunity to be explosive and get down the field with a guy like George Pickens. Now, Dak's going to have time. As far as the pressure gradient on Tyler Booker, he's inside. It's less so. But if you want this team to show the kind of toughness and ability to run the ball on the ground that you want to, he's got to show up ready to play. And you make a good point, though, Jesse. I mean, you want to talk about talking your talk. This kid can talk as much as he wants because he says the right things. He's got that nasty streak that you have to be that guy, especially in the interior of an offensive line. So I like the way all of it sounds, but it's got to happen on the field as well.
Are you excited? Are you excited? I'm jaded. I just, I've seen this movie before. Where's your level of anticipation, excitement heading into this season?
I'm not going to fall for the banana in the tailpipe trick.
Oh,
we don't
good reference. Good reference. Good
Me
reference.
neither. That's what I'm saying.
We don't do that, right? We don't fall for the okie dokie anymore. You make a great point. I think they have made they've made moves to improve this team and needed a lot of improvement coming off a 7-10 season. But when you think about the world champion Philadelphia Eagles and up and coming Commanders with Jaden Daniels at the helm, you better improve just to keep up, just to keep up in the division. So as I was alluding to before, I'm not going to skip steps and talk about title contention. No, sir. Hold on. Slow down. High school's kicking your butt, like Chris Rock used to say. They got to worry about the division first before they can even begin to have an eye down that road.
All right, Joe, we'll let you get back to the golf. I know that you're locked in on that. You got your golf polo on yourself. We appreciate you joining us on the show. WFAA's Joe with the good hair, Joe Trahan. Appreciate you, brother.
There you go.
I appreciate y'all. Y'all take care.
Thank you. Oh, before we go, and I know we're going to break, can you scroll down to Cowboys fan talk? Go all the way down. Cowboy, right here. Boy, can put him up.
Here we go.
Right there. Cowboys fan for life. What? I'm a hater. I'm just saying what the man said.
Now watch this.
I'm just saying what the man said.
Take your hat
Make
off.
it chill look young.
Take your
Laugh
hat off.
my butt off. I'm laughing with you, Cowboy
Take
fan.
your hat
you
off.
with them grades, kid.
Take
kid.
your hat.
Kid.
I'm 41 years old. I'm
Kid.
supposed to be getting grades. But take your hat
Just
off.
saying what the man said.
Take your hat off.
Saying what the people said.
Take your hat off.
My hair's been off.
Take it off.
My hair's not combed today
Take
because
your hat off.
I'm not.
Yo, you don't want to show them grades, huh? You don't want to show those
They've
grades up
seen
top.
my grades.
You don't want to show
They've
those grades.
seen my grades.
We don't. You know why I got grace? I got to deal with you every day. You
Really?
stress me the hell out. That's why my hair is gray. My hair, it was black in August.
That was dyed.
It was
I was
black.
dyed, Mike.
It
Leave
was
that down
black
alone, Mike.
in August.
That's that Mike
now
Irvin
that we
dye.
in May having to work with this dude every single day.
That's that Mike Irvin dye.
I am gray. All right, man. For the last spot of the show, we're going to talk about the holes that need to be filled post-draft. We're going to go through the entire NFC East, but we'll talk Cowboys as well. So stay right here. What you about to say, bro?
You did say HOLES, right? Not
holes. Holes.
I said HOLES holes.
We'll be back to DLS Cowboys podcast. What's up, diehards? I want you guys to know that we have a spring cleaning clearance sale, not to be confused with the clearance sale, because he has a price as well. But right now, you can get up to 75% off some of the merchandise that we have in the shop. Now, if you are a diehard, you already own a shirt because that came free with your membership. So if you want to get another, you want to kind of get ahead of the seasons and get a hoodie for the winter season coming up. You want to get some gift for some friends, or you heard someone say, man, I really like that show, that DLLS show they got over there. They're a Mavs fan or a Rangers fan or a Stars fan, or they listen to the Cowboys podcast. Get them a shirt, man. Get them a shirt. Get them hooked up. And after you do that, you get them a shirt. You get them rocking through the clearance that we have going on. If you want a diehard, sign up. Sign up today. You can do it easily. You can do alldlls.com and sign up that way. Or there it is right there. It's this way. It's this way. It's this way. Boom. It's the other way. You can just go ahead and scan that QR code and become a diehard. Get your cool carrying card. Do I have I left my wallet in the car, but that's all good. You get a cool carrying card. You will get a free t-shirt. You'll get 20% off all the events that we have, the watch parties, the hangouts, and we will be doing a ton of those during the Cowboy season. So you'll get a chance to meet Pop, and maybe you can buy him a bourbon or something out there. You can buy me a Red Bull or water. I will accept it. Just make sure it's not open when you give it to me. But become a diehard. You have access to all the writings. If you've been following writings from Clarence Hill that he did in March, talking about the verbal deal that Micah Parsons and Jerry Jones had, that people might be saying he's saying cap on it now, but it was in print. It was in print. So head over to alldlls.com today, become a diehard, and join the family. Be a part of this. All right, final episode of the Cowboys DLS podcast. Be sure to hit the like button if you are here and you are watching, if you have been entertained, if you have laughed, if you have chuckled, if you have gotten some information, if we have been able to take your mind off something that has been disturbing you for the past couple days, hit the like button. Come on now, hit the like button. We got to make sure that we keep those likes up, keep the algorithm going in the positive direction, end the week right on a positive note. Hit the like button. Make sure that you're subscribed to the DLS Cowboys podcast and hit the notification button. That way, when we go live, you will know it. You'll get the notification, and you'll never miss an opportunity to join the show. All right, so I found this article on ESPN. Let me give credit to Aaron Schatz. It's Shats.
Yeah, Shats.
Yeah, Shats.
Yeah, Shats.
I don't. You looked over here like I was saying something incorrect. Like I know I can get proprietary down.
No. I was actually trying to think if it was a super chat. Like, huh? I was looking. I was like, what is he looking at?
No.
So that's what I was thinking. Maybe the super chat.
So the draft has happened, and we know that there's a bunch of needs that all teams, the Cowboys included, have going into the draft. And then you try to address those via free agency. Then you try to address what's left over via draft. And then now this article talks about the holes that still need to be filled on teams post-draft. So now we've been through the offseason, we've been through free agency, we've been through the draft, and what positions do these people say that teams in the NFC East still have to fill? Who do you want to start with? You want to go with the Giants first, the Eagles first?
Let's go with the Eagles.
Eagles. All right, so right now, the article reads that the Philadelphia Eagles, one of the needs that they still have post-draft is the wide receiver number 3. Now, to me, that's funny / interesting. And yes, it better be funny and or interesting. Because if you're a team and the need that you still have to fill is wide receiver number 3, you in a damn good place.
Yeah, but remember, they traded a 3rd-round pick for Dotson last year. Who was that buzz? They traded
Jahan Dotson, he had 19 catches for 226 yards, and they had brought in a newcomer from the Panthers, Terrace Marshall Jr. Now, I don't think either one of them moved the needle for me. They do have one of the best duos in the league with A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. And then you even add Zach Ertz into the mix, his being a 3rd pass catcher.
But that just tells you how they move differently than the Cowboys.
Dallas Goedert.
The Cowboys, before this Pickens trade, and then they traded 3rd-round pick for Pickens, but they gave up a 4th-round pick for Mingo trying to fix their number 2 receiver. They said we're going to do it by osmosis and getting better inside. The Eagles already had 2 first-round picks or first-round talents at receiver. Mm-hmm. And they still went up and gave up a 3rd-round pick for Dotson.
Yeah.
Okay, that's when we talk about all in. I'm trying to get better.
Right.
Yeah, it's funny that you got these 2 first-round talents and you still need a receiver, okay? Because they do not leave no stone unturned. They're trying to build a team. They want to build a Super Bowl team. And yes, we missed on that. And they're not afraid of missing, unlike the Cowboys, who are afraid if I get in something, we're going to beat them up and they're going to miss and they're not going to do it again. They're not afraid of missing. They missed on him. They missed on a couple of players, but they ended up in the Super Bowl and won the Super Bowl.
No, I'm with you. That is the way that Harry Roseman has been rolling. He's saying, I'm going to acquire as much talent as I possibly can, because if I keep swinging, eventually I'm going to connect and I'm going to hit a home run.
Right. That's why the Pickens thing is great, because if you miss, you're not worse off.
Right.
But if you hit,
right,
then you're hitting big.
I mean, hell, if you're playing baseball and you're 1 for 3 with a home run, you had a pretty good day. You had a pretty good day in baseball if you're 1 for 3 with a home run. So that's just the way that they go about business is let's just keep swinging for the fences. And when we hit big. And of course, you remember the signing of Saquon Barkley. That's a big swing in the offseason and it hit for them. But again, you're in a pretty darn good place where your post-draft need is the number 3 wide receiver.
Right.
And that's why Philadelphia is at the top of the NFC for me. Where do you want to go, Washington or New York?
Let's go New York, Washington before we get to the Cowboys before we close out.
All right, New York. Their need right now, they're saying, is tight end. They drafted a quarterback in the first round, Jackson Dart out of Ole Miss. They're saying their tight end spot, they need to elevate that. Theo Johnson had a solid season. A 4th-round rookie, had 29 catches for 331 yards and a touchdown, but the Giants need more production than that, and Johnson isn't known as a strong run blocker. The Giants need depth, as well as they have some depth with Daniel Bellinger, but he only had 14 catches for 125 yards. And this tight end thing is, when you look at the dynamic of the New York Giants, right? They are rookie quarterback or Russell Wilson, right? Those 2 things. And I think both of those guys would benefit from having a really good tight end, because a tight end is a quarterback's best friend, especially one who's kind of on the way out and one who is on the way to start his career. Getting the ball to the tight end, you can always get profit with that. You never go broke taking profit.
Yeah, I'm not going to spend too much time with the Giants. They have a coach who's on the hot seat. He should have been on the hot seat last year when they committed to Daniel Jones. He's on the hot seat. If tight end's going to get him up the hot seat, whatever. They got a lot of needs. What they need is they need to win games and help the coach keep his job.
That's why Dayball didn't draft Shador in my eyes. That's why. To me, Dayball didn't draft Shador not because he didn't like him as a player. I think he didn't draft Shador because he knew he was on a hot seat. And the last thing that you want is being Brian Dayball as Shador as your quarterback. And every time you look at the game, the New York media, who is brutal, you fit right in the New York media. You fit in. You have the New York media type. You want guys that have thicker skin. The New York media, you fit right in with them. But they would say every single week, fire Dayball, bring prime time to Times Square.
Oh yeah, they would
say that every single. That would be the headline every single week. The Washington Commanders, position of need post-draft for the Washington Commanders. We know what they did last year, going to the NFC Championship game where they eventually lost to the Philadelphia Eagles, who went on to win the Super Bowl. So the Commanders, it is a good thing the Commanders rarely play base defense, only 13% of the time last season, because their linebacker depth is terrible. There will be a problem if Frankie Louvu and or Bobby Wagner suffers an injury. As a backup as a second-year player who were fifth-round picks, Dominique Hampton and Jordan McGee. Hampton didn't play a defensive snap last season, while McGee played only 15. The Commanders also add Kane Medrano in the 6th round. So they're looking for linebacker depth. I like Frankie Louvu. I've always been a fan of Bobby Wagner. Wanted Bobby Wagner here.
Yeah.
When he was
Dan Quinn wanted him here too.
I wanted Bobby Wagner here.
We ain't have no pie. Not no pie.
You talk about having veterans in the locker room and having guys to get you ready. Having a guy like Bobby Wagner is such a benefit because he's going to be a great player. You know he's going to be a prepared player, but you get that level of, come here, little bro. Yeah. I could put my arm around DeMarvion Overshown. I could put my arm around Maris Leofau and really coach those guys up in such a way that it leaves you better when I'm gone.
No doubt.
You know what I mean?
No doubt. But if their biggest need is depth at linebacker, they don't have a lot of needs.
That's what happened when you're a good football team.
Are they? They had one good year.
What do you mean? They went to the NFC. They went to the NFC.
So we got to forgive everything they've done before. We just got to say because they won NFC Championship last year, they're good. Don't worry, they good. They're gonna go right back. We don't know that. Detroit didn't go right back.
We don't know they're going right back.
Green Bay beat the Cowboys. Everybody, they're the next team. They didn't do the same thing they did. They got beat by Washington playoffs.
But winning definitely puts you in a different stratosphere. When you win and you go up and up and up and up, yes, it puts you in a different stratosphere.
I'm not ready to make them a lead pipe cinch lock to be
I'm not
just
making
that.
them a lead
You
pipe
said they're
cinch
good.
lock. They are a good football team.
They are.
They are a good football team. Now, if they go out and they bomb, guess what? They become a bad football team.
Again, must be nice. And you said it good. If the only thing you got to worry about is linebacker depth.
Yeah, it must be nice.
Must be nice. That's all I'm saying. Must be nice.
All right, and for the Dallas Cowboys, position of need, cornerback depth. The biggest hole was wide receiver, but it was resolved when the George Pickens trade happened. So let's pivot to cornerback. Deron Bland and Trayvon Diggs are strong starters, and we know that Trayvon Diggs most likely won't be ready for the start of the season. But there are questions about whether Diggs will be ready after surgery last year to repair cartilage damage in his left knee. There's also depth questions at the number 3 corner. The 3rd-round rookie, Savon Ravel Jr., will start to be a first-round talent, but fell because of an ACL tear. Depth is poor if Diggs and Ravel isn't ready. Kalen Carson allowed a horrendous 98.4 coverage DVOA last season. So the depth for the Cowboys at the cornerback position is in question.
No doubt.
All said that.
No, we've said that. And Aaron, they also need help at defensive tackle. They still haven't proven they can stop the run. When I talk about the Cowboys and what they've done, the biggest Achilles heel of the last 3-4 years has been run defense.
Yes, sir.
Okay, what have they done to stop? I mean, we got all these weapons on the offense, and we improved the offense line. What have they done? What have they deliberately done to help fix the run defense?
They figured out if we score more points on offense, they'll have to pass the ball and not run it.
So when they lost to Green Bay, they scored 32 points. Of course, they gave them 48 because they couldn't stop a nosebleed. They couldn't stop the run. They couldn't stop the pass. I mean, you got to be able to stop the run.
They couldn't score points the first 3 quarters of that game. That was the problem.
Okay, but when they finally scored, they couldn't stop the run. I mean, you still got to be able to stop the run, and it's something they haven't done. And I'm just saying that, yes, they need cornerback help, but I need help stopping the run.
I'm with you. I'm with you. All right, man. That is the week. We did it.
We did do
the
it.
week. Do we have any super chats before we go, Kit Kat? We have one. Let's address that one. Our boy Dan Myers. Chill. What's your opinion on why the front office actually waits to sign these contracts? The Jones family knows money. They have to know it's cheaper to get a player under contract early. You got 30 seconds.
They try to win. They want to win every deal. They want to win. They don't want to be left-handed thinking they lost the deal. I mean, they want to win the deal. They know they're going to get the guy signed. So as Jerry said, he's not in a rush. It's urgent for the player because it's personal for the player. It's not urgent for him because he knows he's going to get the deal done.
Yeah. All right, man. That's it for us. We get Joe back next week?
We get Joe Monday and Tuesday, and we get Jeff back on Wednesday or Thursday.
Thursday.
Yeah.
We'll be back next Friday as a full show, but you know what it is. Same place, same time, 11 o'clock on YouTube. Make sure you're here. Like, subscribe, hit the notification button. For Clarence, I'm Jesse. As Jeff would say, be kind to everyone because you never know what anyone's going through. And as I always say, eliminate the contingencies.
We all silly like the mayor.